Good evening. Thanks for being here. I'm Troy Charles. Here are your top stories. 10 new cases of COVID-19 were announced Sunday by the Thunder Bay District Health Unit, putting the total number of active cases in the region at 37. All 10 cases are considered a result of close contact with an existing case, and all are self-isolating.
At least 3 of the 37 active cases are attributed to pickleball players in at least 2 recreation centers, the Polish Legion on Cumberland Street and Moose Hall on Fort William Road. Anyone who played pickleball at the 2 locations or the West Thunder Community Center and North McIntyre Rec Center between November 3rd and 13th may also have been exposed to the virus and are being asked to immediately self-isolate by the health unit. The letter released by the health unit Saturday regarding the incident states anyone at any of the 4 locations are a high-risk contact for COVID-19. The health unit is working with the local Pickleball Association to identify contacts.
Thunder Bay Police are investigating an incident after a youth was approached by a suspicious male in a red car. The incident took place sometime between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Saturday in the 100 block of Sherbrooke Street. 12-year-old female was approached by an adult male. The female eventually fled on foot and returned home to report the incident. The vehicle was described as a red 4-door sedan with a cracked driver's side mirror. The driver is described as a white male between the age of 25 to 35 years old. Police are asking anyone with information to call them or Crime Stoppers. Thunder Bay Council will hear options to amend the city's fireworks bylaw on Monday evening. This comes in response to a motion put forward by Councillor Aldo Roberto over the summer asking for tighter restrictions.
Currently, residents are allowed to set off fireworks on most statutory holidays and during the 3 days leading up to those holidays, but Roberto feels some people are stretching the rules and disturbing those who live near them. Amendment options put forward by the city's Licensing and Enforcement Division include reducing that legal discharge period, increasing public awareness advertising in the weeks leading up to a holiday, or banning fireworks altogether. Council isn't scheduled to make any decisions on the matter this week, although councillors can choose to put a motion forward during the meeting.
The second Tree of Hope lighting ceremony took place Sunday evening at the Thunder Bay Police Headquarters. Sacred Fire and Tree lighting ceremony is in honor of missing and murdered Indigenous women. Last year, one tree was lit with 1,200 red lights to represent all the cases of missing and murdered Indigenous women, the RCMP have confirmed. With an additional 1,000 lights added this year, Sacred Fire ceremony was to remember the over 4,000 missing and murdered women, with 4,000 red tobacco ties put in the fire to honor their memory. Speakers at the ceremony included Thunder Bay Mayor Bill Morrow, Fort William First Nation Chief Peter Collins, and Anishinaabe Aski Chief Alvin Fiddler. Constable Charlene Bordeaux helped organize the ceremony.
What I'm hoping it would do is to bring awareness to those in the community that do not know about it, to remember each victim.
Especially during the year 2020, where we're really looking at what is our priorities as a community. And for this event to still happen during the middle of a pandemic, and to see that the support in the community working together on addressing the violence that Indigenous women and girls face is critical.
Bordeaux urges anyone with any information on any missing or murdered Indigenous women to come forward and contact Thunder Bay Police or Crime Stoppers. The Lakehead Region Conservation Authority saw a steep increase in their usage of their areas this year due to COVID-19. The area saw an increase of 43,000 cars compared to years past, but as Avery McRae explains, only 15% of users are paying for parking fees, and vandalism is still an issue for the authority.
The Lakehead Region Conservation Authority made the decision to keep their conservation areas open during COVID-19 this year for residents to have a place to go and enjoy nature and mental health. Almost 190,000 vehicles visited the areas this year, which led to an increase in purchase of Explorer cards and paying parking fees in the coin boxes. CAO Tammy Cook was excited to see many first-time users of the areas this year.
A lot of people probably have discovered our areas that maybe wouldn't have gone there in the past. One thing we have seen is we have seen some recent vandalism at Mission Island Marsh. However, on average, even with the increased users, we haven't seen an increase in the number of number of vandalism cases that we've seen, which is good. So the vandalism still is concerning, but we haven't seen an increase in that number of vandalism cases.
The vandalism mostly includes spray paint as well as an increase in garbage in the areas. A contractor to remove garbage from underground receptacles, which has cost over $5,500 this year, more than $1,000 than last year. With no government funding, the authority relies on money in the drop boxes to pay their fees, which collected $9,000 through October. And while that is an increase over years past, only 15% of users are paying the drop box fees.
We do encourage people to pay our parking fee as it goes directly towards the maintenance of our areas, fixing those docks, gas in our lawnmowers, and our insurance. And I think people don't realize that we are private landowners. So we pay municipal taxes, we're paying for that maintenance. With no funding from the government.
The Conservation Authority's Board of Directors is looking into other methods to increase revenue generation in these areas in order to reduce municipal tax dollars it takes to operate the conservation properties. Avery McRae, TBT News.
As we near the end of 2020, there is a flurry of activity in Marathon. The community was already abuzz with the ongoing work for the East-West tie, but now work is getting underway at 3 other locations in the municipality. 2 projects involve the demolition of large structures, while the other is the reconstruction of an asset lost during the summer. Adam Riley has the details.
After a powerful storm delivered a bolt of lightning that caused a fire that destroyed Marathon's Peninsula Golf Course clubhouse in August, the municipality began formulating a plan to replace the building with modern accessibility standards in time for the 2021 golf season. Mayor Rick Dumas says CGV Developments, the same company that built Peninsula Manor, has been selected to construct the $1.1 million clubhouse. And council and staff are now working on ways to pay the price tag.
We're about $750,000 to $780,000 in insurance return. So we're going to have to take some money out of our operating budget through 2021. So that'll come for discussion in the operating and process of budget starting in December.
Work has also started on the demolition of the Peninsula Tug, which after several failed attempts to remove from the beach area over the last 2 years, resulted in the town ordering it to be demolished. Priestley Construction, the same company that demolished the mill in 2016, was awarded the contract to carry out the work for $1,000. However, Dumas says an updated cost for the work is being tabulated due to the extra time it took to remove the more than expected amount of hazardous materials from the tug.
But we weren't expecting any of this when we went into this venture to remove this tug from the beach. So it's been a real eye-opener and a nightmare for the municipality. But we will be transparent with the public as we always are, and we'll share all those numbers and details in regards to the situation at hand.
Another change in Marathon that is slated to happen is the demolition of the former mall property that was seized by the town in 2018 after the owner failed to pay the near $500,000 in back taxes owed to the municipality. Dumas says some developers have expressed interest in the property, but nothing ever really took off. But he adds talks are still ongoing that could change the situation.
Right now, the building will be totally demoed, but there is an interested party that might want some part of the building, so we'll have that discussion this week. But it doesn't, there's no guarantee. But at the same time, if you're interested, like any developer, any individual, we said in the past, money talks. So put your money on the table and a concrete plan.
Priestley has also been contacted to carry out that job as well. Adam Riley, TBT News.
With a new home on the horizon, the Thunder Bay Art Gallery has hired a new curator. While the gallery continues with its ambitious plan to move to the waterfront on Lake Superior, they've brought in a new face to carry on their vision. Kayla Karim has that story.
That is Penelope Smart, and she is a new curator for the Thunder Bay Art Gallery. Smart was actually born in Thunder Bay and grew up in Red Lake. She brings with her a Master of Fine Arts degree from OCAD University in Toronto. She has also held a curatorial position at the Art Gallery of Ontario. She spoke about what her goals are for her new role.
I think with any position like this, where it's all about community and connection and exploring the art that's in the collection and the meaning behind it and the artists and the community the artists are from, all of that can take some time. So for me, speaking personally, I do think a curatorial position is one that you want to spend some time with, and curators, it can really depend, but if you love your collection or the collection, you want to stay and have some time with it and get to know it and really get to know the community and the makers and the meaning behind all the works that you have the privilege and honor to work with.
Smart couldn't deny that the eventual new art gallery that will be constructed down on the waterfront at Marina Park was a selling point. She says she hopes construction will begin soon, but could not guarantee when the groundbreaking will happen.
I think as a curator, as anyone working in contemporary art in Canada, to have sitting on the horizon, or on the lakefront, I guess, the shores of Lake Superior, a new art facility to be the house and center for a community of artists in Northwestern Ontario, there's nothing more exciting than that as a curator.
For now, the gallery remains open to the public with COVID guidelines in place. Currently, there are multiple exhibits on display, including the works of famed Canadian artist Maud Lewis. Kayla Karim, TBT News.
Mike Mohorovic, sports guy on the desk. Busy weekend. What do you got coming up for us?
Masters, NFL, local hockey. Stay with us all after the break.